Last episode, we talked about the way that needs actually impact people's motivations. But do you know that these needs actually have a hierarchy? Now, these are the topics that we'll be discussing in today's session here at the Corporate Mechanic. Hey, welcome back everybody. This is Joey and welcome to the Corporate Mechanic. So today we're actually in our fifth, if I'm not mistaken. This is our fifth episode on our motivation series. And today I will be talking about one of the most famous and one of actually the older or what probably oldest modern concept on motivation, which is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, this was developed back in the 40s by Dr. Abraham Maslow, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs is essentially something that has been used for quite some time in understanding the needs of people and how it motivates them. All right. So the whole idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is this. What he's saying is that there are actually five layers of needs that each person seeks to have. Now, the idea here is like it's pretty much like a pyramid, wherein the lowest level need is at the bottom and it gradually goes up until you reach the apex. Now, what Abraham Maslow is saying is that the lowest level need has to be met before that person seeks the higher level need. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to be 100% satisfied on the lowest level need. But if you've already received that lowest level of need, at least to a good extent, then that's the time that you start seeking the higher level needs. Okay? So what are these needs? Let's start with the lowest level. The lowest level is what is known as the physiological needs. The physiological needs are essentially basic survival. So any person will need what in order to live? Will need air, will need food, will need water, okay? Will need a place to stay, a place to keep warm, will need to have sex, So these are the lowest level of needs. So you have to satisfy that to a certain degree before anything else. Okay, so that is your basic survival. Okay, your need to survive, your need to be able to, to be able to do other things. So that's the lowest level need. On top of that, okay, so the next level need is what is known as our need for safety and security. So once you're assured that you can actually eat, you're assured that you have, a place to stay, the next thing that you want is to be safe from any danger. You want to be in a situation wherein you don't have to worry about certain things. There's a certain level of security. So these include things like food security, safety from danger, being in a safe place, safe shelter, no one is harming you. You want to be in that situation. You want to feel safe. You want to feel secure. Okay? So that also includes things like job security. Okay? So that's security. So that's the next level of need. So after you can breathe, after you can eat, the next step is making sure that you are safe. Alright? Now once you go above that, the next level of need is the need to belong, or the need for love and belongingness. Right? So at that level, what you're now searching for is being part of a group. You want to be part of a family. You want to be part of a group of friends, to be associated, for people to actually love you, for people to actually feel that people love them. So that's that need that the person has. Okay? You want to feel that you belong. Alright? That somebody cares for you. So those are that type of need. That's the third level of need. Now the fourth level of need is what is known as the need for esteem. Okay, now there are two subtypes of that. First is the need for self-esteem, meaning you need to feel that you're doing good. You need to feel that you're worth doing something. You're worthwhile. It's being proud of yourself. Okay, and the other form of esteem is respect coming from others. You want people to respect you. You want to have a reputation. So that's that. Okay, so that's the fourth level of need. And then the fifth level of need is what is known as self-actualization. Now, when we talk about self-actualization, it's really talking about the fact that it's knowing who you are and what your purpose is all about. It's knowing about why am I here? What am I supposed to do? What is my calling? What is it that I'm here for? It's really knowing about yourself and your purpose. Okay? So how does this impact you as a manager? Now, it's very important to remember that as a manager, you have to understand that need that your resource, that your team actually has at that point in time. Every individual will have their own needs, and it is your job to understand that. Okay? So for example, just to give you a very simple example, you have a resource that you've been asking to work overtime. You've asked him to work 3 days straight, without any breaks or whatnot. So he's almost living at the office. So what do you expect that person to feel? He'll feel very tired afterwards. He'll feel very exhausted after working so hard. So what's the best way to motivate that person? Is it to just simply congratulate him? Make him feel proud about himself? Chances are, it's not gonna work. Why? Because at that point in time, you probably would see that that person is tired. That person is probably, needs some rest. So his basic physiological need kicks in. So for you as a manager, it's actually best if you give him, okay, you've been working 3 days straight. Take a rest. Take the day off. Take the week off. Something like that. Now that is something that will have a big effect, okay, on that resource, on that employee, because that's what he needs. Okay, that's his need at that point in time. He does not need your praises. He does not need you to congratulate him. Of course, that will help, but at that point in time, that's not the salient need. So it's very important for you to truly understand where people are coming from, what are their current needs. And if you as a manager are able to meet those needs, then you could be very much assured that that person or these people are actually performing better. Okay? I'll give you another example. If, for example, you have an employee that is actually performing well, okay, performing well in his job, is very capable, but at the same time, what you're trying to do is you're trying to give him things that don't really matter to him. For example, you're making him feel part of the group. You're strengthening that level 3, that belongingness, telling him that, oh, you're a wonderful, we like you as a member of this team, we're so glad that you're here, and so on and so forth. But at that point in time, you probably did not realize that what that person is looking for was to improve himself. He was at that point, he's at the top level, self-actualization. He's trying to see, okay, what is else in this company? How can I become a better member of this company? So if you don't take care of that, all you're doing is just making him feel belong. That's something that he already has at that point. So if this does not get met, that person, if the fifth level of need, self-actualization, is not being met, that person will not become motivated. Okay, so it's really trying to understand where the need is at that point in time. Okay, so that's the whole idea of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, just to give you more inputs, once you reach the fifth level of need, self-actualization, the more that he experiences that level, self-actualization, the more that he will crave for it. Okay? So that's what motivates him. It's having more of that, more understanding of his capability, more understanding of what his purpose is. It's really that level. That's the apex of uh, a person's needs. Now, the first four levels is having more of that. Okay, for example, food, safety, belongingness. The more that you give that, and once it gets satisfied, the less that motivation, or the less the motivation of that person has on that area. So, for example, let's talk about uh, food, for example. If he has no worry for food, then it's not going to motivate him anymore because that's already satisfied. So it lessens. As opposed to the fifth level, the more that he feels his purpose in life, the more he will seek that. Okay, so that's just something that I'd like you guys to think about because it will help you better understand your employees. All right, so I do hope I was able to give you some insights on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Again, it's something that's very useful for you as a manager to really apply in your office, in your teams, and being able to make sure that your teams become motivated. Okay, so if you have questions, comments, anything that you'd like to know more about, feel free to write it down in our comment section and we'll be very glad to answer these questions. Please do like and subscribe and hit on the notification button for more episodes that we will be having here at the Corporate Mechanic. So thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay blessed.